Good evening. I'm glad you could be with us tonight to indulge an old man in his stories, especially on Christmas Eve. There are many great stories I could tell. A mystery, you say? Why, sure, everyone loves a good mystery. I have just the one right here. The mystery of Christmas. It's the legend of a wealthy landowner, Tiberius Von Sydow, in a Christmas Eve dinner party that changed the course of their lives forever. But wait, I'm getting ahead of the story.
How exciting. Tonight is the night. I have no idea what Master Von Sydow has planned for this evening. It is so exciting, though. It's been so long since he's hosted a dinner party, and on Christmas Eve, no less. Whew. Although, the guest list is rather unusual, don't you think? Oh, that's right. You don't talk. You never talk. What good is a butler who doesn't talk? And where's my duster? Oh! Why must you startle me so? I wonder when our first guest will arrive. We have a guest!
Our guest, we welcome you, our guest.
I proudly introduce Dr. Alton Walton and the author of many a fine mystery, Stephen Foote.
I'm Dr. Alton Walton, and medicine's my bag. As long as there's no blood involved, that red stuff makes me gag.
But me, I love that blood stuff. It's all of which I write. And having seen the guest list, we might see some tonight!
We have a guest, we welcome you, our guest.
Mr. and Mrs. Rufus de Gallion.
I was specifically told there'd be no singing this year.
Relax, Rufus.
I've battled with him all these years, and of this thing I'm sure. You cannot trust that Von Sydow, his motives are impure.
Oh, Rufus, please give him a chance. We don't know what he'll say. Who knows, in time we might look back and be grateful for this day.
Not likely.
We have a guest, we welcome you, our guest.
The lovely Miss Constance Abinger.
I'm honored for the invite. Of that, please be assured. I'm looking for a chance to corner our host for a word, for the strangest invitation has left me full of hope that he has all the answers for the reason my heart grows.
We have a guest, we welcome you, our guest.
We are joined by the brave General Milton Kemp.
You'll forgive me if I don't sing.
We have a guest, we welcome you, our guest.
And finally, allow me to introduce the widow, Milton Mildred Marmon.
Speaking of a mystery, hers as good as those ones go.
Her husband passed 3 months ago, but how? Nobody knows.
By fall or knife, or some such poison for which there is no cure.
If they only knew the truth, that would silence them for sure.
We have a guest, 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 we have a guest.
But where's our host?
Imagine Tiberius Von Sydow standing up a collection of guests in his own house.
Really, Rufus?
It reminds me of my very first novel, A Room Full of Dinner Guests, whereupon the room full of dinner guests wait for a host that never arrives. Apparently, the butler had other plans for dessert.
Dessert already?
What a beautiful home. It's truly an honor to be the guest of Mr. Von Sydow.
Speaking of homes, from where do you hearken, Miss Abinger? You've made quite the impression in your short stay around town, but it's almost as if you fell out of the sky.
I think it was Mildred's husband that fell from the sky.
General Camp, do you have any epic tales of battles won to share with us?
Why, yes.
Okay, I'm a little lost.
Not unlike the autopsy report of your husband's mysterious death that Dr. Walton misplaced.
As a medical professional, I assure you every attention to detail was paid.
And as the same medical professional that prescribed cat liver for my sprained ankle, snake oil for my dandruff,
Lead pills for my water retention.
The rack for my lower back pain.
Tiny shards of glass for my persistent cough.
Mildly acidic poison for my freckles.
I believe, Doctor, it is clear that your attention to detail is the least of our worries. The devil is in the detail.
Excuse me?
Oh, that was my 17th novel. A mysterious curse haunts the 4th Regiment as they march deep into Confederate South. Apparently the butler's boots were not only made for walking. Yes, forgive me, but where the devil is Von Sydow?
You know, Rufus, I find your presence here tonight a bit peculiar given those rocky circumstances of your relationship.
Never you mind, Doctor, but I grow impatient with his games.
Of what games do you speak, my dear Rufus?
Tiberius.
Thank you for having us.
The pleasure is mine.
It is an honor.
You are quite welcome, Rufus.
No, I'm sorry, that was my 3rd novel. A murderer sits on the Supreme Court, and justice is served.
By the butler, no doubt.
You've read it?
It only takes one.
And one Marmon it is. I'm sorry your husband will be unable to join us tonight, Mildred.
Thank you, Tiberius. But I'm sure my husband's untimely death couldn't be further from your mind.
If only her husband had been a little further from the mine, chap. Right?
Tiberius, you're looking fantastic tonight. Strong as an oxen.
Observant as always, Doctor.
Thank you.
Mr. Von Sydow, it is an honor to be welcomed into your magnificent home.
And it is a pleasure to finally meet the young Miss Abinger. The minds of the young, right, Milton?
Tiberius, quite an entrance.
My entrance is nothing compared to the departure I have planned for this evening.
Enough with the charades, Von Sydow. Why did you really bring us up to this house tonight?
Rufus, you're being rude.
Oh, and you're being naive. I've known old Tiberius long enough to know that an invitation to dinner is never just that.
Dinner is served. Are our dinner guests ready to adjourn to the dining room?
Not quite yet. Another purpose does exist.
Well, Tiberius, why did you really pull me from my time of mourning?
It's Christmas Eve. It must be good news.
For some in this room, it might be. The fact of the matter is that I'm not long for this world. I've been diagnosed with a life-ending illness.
But Tiberius, at our last checkup.
Yes, our last checkup, doctor. Your diagnosis was that I had a case of the oopsies.
The oopsies?
Oh, that's horrible.
Yes, it is horrible. You could have saved us all an evening by sending out a death notice. Get your coat, Francie.
I'm sorry you have to go, Rufus. Have you no interest in my inheritance?
There's no reason to talk about such matters of trivial importance.
Well, is that so? I would think a woman of such suspicious origin would be most interested in an inheritance.
You know, Mildred, not all of us have been blessed with a recent windfall.
Well, you know, Tiberius, anything you leave me would only further the grand cause of medicine. What?
Is your prognosis certain?
Quite certain. Terminal is how one describes it, I believe.
Well, I think it's time for dinner then.
General!
Well, it is the most important meal of the day, medically speaking.
So what's your angle, Von Sydow?
Rufus!
Clam it, Francie. I've battled this man long enough to know there's got to be a hook. The only thing tighter than the knot on that man's tie is his purse strings.
A man can change, Mr. DeGallion.
A man can.
No, he's right. There's always a catch, isn't there, Rufus? I invited you all here this evening for the express purpose of distributing my vast legacy.
I guess we wait for dinner then.
Distributed how?
Is this entirely necessary? Really, there are more appropriate things to be discussing. It's Christmas Eve.
Yes, but that is some gift he's talking about.
And you know you can't take it with you when you go.
And I won't be taking it with me where I'm headed. So the real question is, where shall I leave it?
Now we're talking turkey.
Turkey?
More like the whole hog.
So tell us, Tiberius, who does get your inheritance?
Well, therein lies the mystery.
What kind of mystery?
Is it like a game?
Life is a mystery.
And it probably involves the butler. We'll get to the point or it won't be involving me.
It is a mystery. The mystery of Christmas. To whomever solves that mystery, I offer the entirety of my great estate.
Well, that's a little vague.
A little vague? That's absurd. Come on, Francie, we're leaving. There's no mystery in my Christmas. Look what you did now, Von Sydow. Von Sydow?
Tiberius? Where is he?
Murder!
It could be.
Well, maybe we're supposed to find him.
Yes, that's it. If we solve his mystery of Christmas, we'll find him, and that will be the solution.
Well, good luck to all of you then. My wife and I will be leaving now.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere.
Excuse me?
He is old and sick, and he probably needs our help. I refuse to walk out on a man in his time of need.
Agreed.
I'm always game for a mystery.
I guess my other plans could wait.
I'm in.
So, if solving this little mystery gets us one step closer to dinner, then I say...
Look at all of you. Oh, act compassionate. Act selfless. Act like you care. But I know better. Each and every one of you has their eyes on the old man's money.
Well, yeah.
But it's Christmas.
Yeah! Your combined desperateness is pathetic.
You can't say his money doesn't hold some sway over you, Rufus.
I don't need his money. My name is Rufus, got the world on a string. Folks call me a baller, my favorite color is green. You better hide your eyes from this Victorian bling. If you think you're VIP, then you don't know what you're thinking. I go to the theater, I get better seats than Lincoln. You want to hang out later? Hit me up on the Morris Code.
His name is Rufus, but some folks call him Ruthless. He's mean, he's tough, he's got the right stuff in his green.
They're talking about my money.
His name is Rufus, but underneath is toothless. If you look below, ain't nothing but a show, it ain't real.
Check this. My house is so big it sits on its own hill. My guest house has a guest house from my maid's cousin Phil. Every room has its own bathroom just in case you get ill. I got more cattle than the British got teeth. My carriage has hydraulics and a system by beat. Yeah! It cost me like 5 dimes, yo. It's like 50 cents.
His name is Rufus, but some folks call him Ruthless. He's mean, he's tough, he's got the right stuff and it's green.
$1 make me holler.
His name is Rufus, but underneath he's toothless. If you look below, ain't nothing but a show and it's real.
And sure, seems impressive from the outside, and I might be overcompensating somewhat. And it's not because I'm going bald, that's a choice, but because of that Von Sydow. Oh, he's so great, everyone says. Is he? Really? No, well, he's got everybody fooled. Not anymore. Tonight, I'll show you the real Tiberius Von Sydow.
His name is Rufus, but some folks call him Ruthless. He's mean, he's tough, he's got the right stuff, and it's green.
Testify.
His name is Rufus, but underneath he's toothless. If you look below, ain't nothing but a show, it ain't real. Sing it again, yeah. His name is Rufus, but some folks call him Ruthless. He's mean, he's tough, he's got the right stuff, and it's green.
They talk about my money.
His name is Rufus, but underneath it's toothless. If you look below, ain't nothing but a show, it ain't real. I don't think you heard me. If you look below, ain't nothing but a show, it ain't real.
Rufus, out.
Yeah, look below, ain't nothing but a show, it ain't real.
So, if not his money then what of his legacy? To be considered his equal.
His equal. Or greater still. So, what would one need to begin to solve this mystery of Christmas?
Well, as an expert in such matters, allow me to first cover the bases. Has anybody seen the butler?
Perhaps if we pulled everything we know about Christmas, we might come up with a clue as to how we should proceed.
Well, there's the tree.
Presents.
Reindeer.
Stockings?
Meatloaf.
Look, the only way we're going to solve this mystery is by finding Von Sydow. Now, I suggest we split into groups, search the house.
I don't think that's a very good idea.
Do something else.
Attention!
Yes, General?
I suggest we split up into groups and search the house.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Seriously?
Dr. Foot, you and the maid search the main floor. Rufus, Constance, my young lady. Mildred, my lady. Take the grounds. Francie and I will cover the attic. So, perform your search. Meet back here in this very room at the stroke of midnight. Now, march!
This guy. Right. Wait a minute. Who put him in charge?
Rufus, there's no time to argue if you want to solve this mystery tonight.
It's my idea.
But what happened to the butler?
He always disappears like that.
Well, you know, I hate to say I told you so, but... Oh, well, as they say, the game is afoot.
You know, who does the general think he is? And why do we get the grounds? It is freezing out here. How are we supposed to stay warm?
I'm sure you'll provide enough hot air for us all.
Even I don't make enough hot air for a cold fish like you, Mildred.
Where do you think Mr. Von Sydow went to?
Wherever he is, I'm sure he's warm and comfortable and having a good little laugh at us solving this little mystery of his.
Do you really think him to be so cruel?
Oh, believe me, I've known old Tiberius long enough to know that just when we think we've solved this silly puzzle, he'll reappear and pull the rug out from under us.
People don't just disappear and reappear out of nowhere.
Why, you certainly did.
I'm sorry.
Well, 3 months ago, no one had even heard of a Miss Constance Abinger, yet here you are.
One must wonder how or why.
The how and the why shan't concern the likes of you two. But trust me when I say I've come too far to give up tonight.
I'm sure the pursuit of Von Sydow's inheritance is more than enough motivation for you.
There are some things which drive a person far more than the acquisition of simple material wealth.
Like what?
My family. It's true. I'm not what I seem. My story's all made of lies. I'm an orphan with jumped at the chance and trusted this man Von Sydow. The seeds of doubt on me do they close. They whisper to me, just give up. But I know that I can't give up hope. To be back with them is enough. I have no family and that's why I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. Tonight I'll find my family. They'll be so proud of me. Tonight I'll meet my family. They make me so happy. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you.
So you think Tiberius is your old man?
I don't know what to think.
You can't really believe that you're his daughter.
Maybe not, but I'm certain Von Sydow knows something, and if solving this mystery of Christmas is the only way I get the truth, then I won't let anything stop me from finding him.
Keep your eyes peeled, Francie.
I'm not even sure what we're supposed to be looking for up here. You can't believe a man as old and sick as Tiberius could possibly be here.
You're probably right, but we must remain vigilant in our search.
Weren't you close with Von Sydow back during the war?
I was as close as one could get to a man like Tiberius, but that was long ago.
So you don't have any useful insight as to this night's adventure?
Nope. But if performing this little search takes my mind off the grumbling of my stomach, then so be it. Besides, it might give us a momentary respite from your husband's ceaseless narration.
I beg your pardon.
Your husband, he talks a lot.
That is completely inappropriate.
Well, when one begins to get to a certain age, you start to consider less what others might consider to be appropriate.
Oh, you don't fool me, General. You might play a simple fool in a room full of people, but I see the cunning fox that lies beneath the facade.
Why mince words with the likes of the people in that room who only love the sounds of their own voices?
Sounds like someone's quite fond of their own at the moment.
I spent my entire adult life in the service of others, taking orders, fighting alongside men whose boots I wasn't even fit to shine. And what do I get for it? A retirement surrounded by shallow indulgence in the voices of those in my head who I lost in battle. So you'll forgive me if I choose not to have small talk with either of them.
So you've given up then?
I prefer to call it a tactical retreat.
Sounds more like surrender to me.
You think you know exactly how I feel, but what you think you know just isn't real. You think you might be right, but I'm telling you this Christmas night, just another bad month for me. Voices in my head, they call to me, getting drowned out by the men with all their greed. It's an argument instead between the living fools and the walking dead. It's in my head, but there ain't no room for me. Surrender now. They beat me down as they capture me. Surrender now. I'm a fighting man and I will always be here. So now you know the secret that's in me. As long as this goes on, I can't be free. This lonely road I trod as the battle wages for my soul, as I think of those before who died for me, as I walk this lonely road to Calvary.
I had no idea, General.
And I prefer to keep it that way.
Well, it sounds like an awfully lonely existence. Maybe... Oh, what was that?
Francie, why don't you go downstairs and check it out? I'll stay up here in the attic and continue the search.
Well, I can't just leave you up here all alone.
Worry not, Francie. I am never alone.
Oh, my leg!
Let me take a look.
I'd rather you don't.
Oh, is that blood?
No! Now look what you've done. Go help her. I'm fine.
Well, what made you fall?
Well, I was walking in here and I heard a clanging of cymbals and I tripped over the rug.
Cymbals? Well, that's good. We're looking for cymbals.
We're not looking for cymbals. We're looking for clues.
Clues, right. Do you have a clue?
I don't. How's she doing?
Well, her vitals seem to be okay. She's just in a coma. I say we continue our search.
What? We can't just leave her here. What if somebody trips over her?
Right. The closet, then.
Bingo. Here we go.
Come on.
Upsy-daisy.
Sack of potatoes.
In a life full of mystery, Alton, you're one that might never be solved.
Until I find a clue.
Right. In we go. Now that we got that out of the way, we can get back to solving this mystery of Christmas.
Yes. So how do we go about finding these clues?
Simple. Deduction, observation, the pantry.
The pantry?
Yeah, where else do you expect the butler to be hiding?
Isn't it entirely possible that the butler isn't always the responsible party?
Nonsense, Doctor. In the curse of a fog, there was murder in a bog, just a croak of a frog, a body tied to a log. The butler did it. I wrote In for a Penny in 1893, a bestseller for me, and soon you will see the butler did it. I write mystery so you can take it from me. That the people keep reading is the real mystery. The story's always the same. Your eyes will burn from the pain. It doesn't matter how lame. My agent just has no shame. In the end, there's just one simple truth. The butler did it.
Aha! Can I try it?
Sure!
Thank you. The patient lied there and wait. In a cruel twist of fate, the doctor got there too late. We buried him in a crate. Because the doctor did it.
No, it goes like this. In the cold mouth of war, a man was dead on the floor. It was kind of a bore, but the sales, they did soar. Because the butler did it.
So the butler really does do it in all of your books?
Yes.
Pretty ingenious.
Thank you.
But isn't there a part of you that wants things to end differently? Is it possible there's a different ending in store for us?
No. Because I write mystery, so you can take it from me. I know that keeping it simple is the way it must be.
Stephen, please listen to me. All stories don't have to be about a butler with knife storming from the pantry.
Good doctor, haven't you heard that change is just for the bird? You'd have to have me interred before I change any words. Here to the end you'll know the butler did it. Ha ha! The butler did it! The butler did it!
How long has Constance been gone? I'm getting worried.
Really? I figured you'd be used to people disappearing around you by now. I was beginning to wonder if I'd be next.
Is that an offer?
I'm surprised you're here, Mildred. I know about the falling out between your husband and Von Sydow.
You mean when the factory collapsed and Tiberius left my poor Martin holding the bag?
Look, Mildred, no one understands the treachery of Tiberius Von Sydow better than I do. I was kind of hoping your presence here was some sort of an elaborate revenge plot.
No, but one could only hope.
Yes, hope. Hope was probably the last thing your husband had. Well, besides a heartbeat. Well, how did you do it?
Do what?
Your husband.
It was pneumonia.
Pneumonia? How exotic. Now, did you introduce it slowly via his evening nightcap, or was it a fatal injection?
I didn't give him pneumonia. He just got it. And then he died.
That's it?
That's all.
Then why all the secrecy? Surely the rumors around town must be very unsettling.
They are, but no more unsettling than being pitied by the whole town. Oh, look, there goes that poor woman who lost her husband and lives all alone. Well, at least she has a house full of cats.
I love cats. It must be hard for you being all alone. I don't think Francie could make it without me.
I don't know what she would do without you around to regale her with tales of how wonderful you are.
Well, now, what woman doesn't sit around the house all day waiting for her husband to come home to tell her about his conquests? Francie's just fortunate to have a man who wins so often.
It's getting late. I think we need to give up on solving this mystery of Christmas and go find Constance.
Oh, you'd like that, I'm sure. But I'm not quitting until I've beaten Tiberius and claimed his inheritance for my own. You can quit and find the orphan if you'd like. As for inheritance, I think your husband left plenty for you.
He did leave plenty behind. Plenty of memories.
Hello? Is everyone all right down here? We heard a noise from the attic. Hello? Where is everyone? What a night. Between Tiberius's silly scavenger hunt and Rufus being, well, Rufus, I don't think I can take any more surprises. This mystery of Christmas doesn't make much sense to me. I don't see what the fuss is for on this Christmas Eve. I really hope there's more to this than I can clearly see. This Christmas is a mystery to me.
I win all of the battles, but I think I've lost the war. I play all of the angles, but I can't settle the score. In times of contemplation, I think there must be more. This Christmas is a mystery to me.
right now, the good days at an end.
I'm kept awake through sleepless nights of thoughts of my lost men.
If someone could reach out to me
and help this world make sense, Christmas is a mystery to me.
Stop a bad doctor!
And I write awful books.
I hope this mystery
has more to offer than it looks.
Hey, that rhymed.
I know, right? Well done.
I wondered all my life what happened to my family. I've wandered through this world as I waited patiently. Tonight I hope the truth will finally be given to me. This Christmas is a mystery to me.
This Christmas is a mystery to me.
I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Oh, nonsense. You have a beautiful voice. Your family would be very proud.
I know they will be. I'm tired of waiting. When we find Mr. Von Sydow, I will go straight to him and demand that he reveal their true identities.
What makes you think Tiberius is involved?
3 months ago at the orphanage, I received this cryptic invitation. It was addressed from Mr. Von Sydow, and all it says was, "I have found your family. On this night, all will be reunited."
That's impossible.
Of course it's impossible. Von Sydow's impossible.
It certainly appears that way.
Are we any closer to solving this mystery of Christmas?
Better still, are we any closer to dinner?
This is quite problematic.
Problematic? It's absurd. Just what have we learned tonight? This girl's an orphan. Alton's a bad doctor. The general hears voices. Stephen's a terrible author. Oh, and Mildred didn't even murder her husband.
What?
It was pneumonia.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
The only thing we have solved tonight is the mystery of why Von Sydow called us here, which is to prove that we are the most dysfunctional group of dinner guests ever assembled at one time for dinner.
Hey, I don't know about that.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, what is that?
It's coming from the closet.
Tiberius?
Oh, thank you.
Is she in need of medical assistance?
Keep that man away from me.
You know, Rufus, I think it's entirely possible that tonight's mystery is not yet solved.
For instance?
Well, for instance, I'm not a terrible author.
Oh, brother.
But I am an awful doctor.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
fair,
it's
fair,
true.
fair.
It's really bad, yeah.
What I mean is, I'm not an author at all. I don't write any of my own books.
You have a ghostwriter?
Yes.
Oh,
You see, my parents were very wealthy, and growing up, I never could impress them. I thought having a well-known author for a son would make them proud. But apparently they think fiction's only for the feeble-minded.
Then who wrote all your books?
My butler did it.
The butler always did do it.
But why come clean now?
Well, when I received my invitation, Tiberius said he was going to reveal my secret tonight, and that the author of life had the perfect story already written for me.
So he was planning on blackmailing you.
No, I think you have Tiberius all wrong.
I'm wrong? Name one thing that I've been wrong about tonight.
Well, for one, this girl is not an orphan.
How could you possibly know that?
She's my sister.
Well, that's impossible.
No. When I was 11 years old, back during the war, my parents were killed in a riot. After that, it was just me and my infant sister. I thought that I could take care of myself, but she was so little, and I was so young. I left her at the steps of the orphanage, and I ran away. I've thought about her every day since. 3 months ago, I received an invitation. This invitation, in the mail from Tiberius. All it said was that the mystery of your life would be answered tonight.
Is it true?
So that's the whole mystery.
I don't think so. My invitation said, "Your husband loves you very much, and he longs to see you again. I don't understand what it means, but I desperately want to know."
Well, I got one too, and my invitation says, "Dear General, you have always lived your life with courage. But tonight, will you be brave enough to admit that that is not enough?"
Well, my invitation, it says, "You're not much of a doctor."
Absolutely right.
But that on Christmas Eve, you'd be part of the greatest delivery of all time. I just assumed one of the women here was with child.
What?
I beg your pardon?
So we all received an invitation with a veiled message from Von Sydow?
What about you, Rufus? What did your invitation say?
It's none of your business.
But maybe a clue for solving the mystery of Christmas is in your invitation.
We all shared ours.
Honey, please.
Fine. You really want to know what my invitation says?
Yes.
It's nothing really. It's just 2 words. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
That's it. I'm sorry.
But what is he sorry about?
Oh, and who knows? Could be any number of things. The business dealings he ripped me off on, the false rumors he spread about me, the public humiliation as he toyed with me at every opportunity. Oh, the list goes on and on. You know, because of his position in our society, I wasn't forced to take all of his insults. But tonight, from tonight on, no more. I refuse to accept his apology. Do you hear me, Von Sydow? I say no! Ignore.
I do hear you, Rufus.
How does he do that?
It's probably the butler.
Oh, yeah.
I heard every word you said. And they are all true. But it is not for these things that I beg your forgiveness tonight.
And why do you?
Because over the years, my actions towards you have hardened your heart on this, the one night I'd hoped to share with you, with all of you, the one great mystery of Christmas that changed my life. I just hope it's not too late for us, Rufus.
I don't need your mystery.
It's not my mystery. It was shared with me by Mildred's husband, Rufus, while on his deathbed. I'd worked with him for many years before we endured a falling out over a bad business deal. So when I heard through my sources of his pneumonia, I went to see him.
I had no idea.
Upon that first visit, I was overwhelmed by his sense of peace. And he readily forgave me of all my wrongs against him. And before I left, he asked me to come back. So I did, time and time again, until he passed away. But not before he shared with me this mystery of Christmas that brought him so much peace.
So Mildred's husband was the mystery of Christmas?
No. It was his mystery to pass on just as I will share with you.
The suspense is killing me.
We all have a void in our lives. Money, possessions, security, power. It's never enough to solve that nagging feeling that something is missing. Well, the gift of Christmas solved that mystery for me.
What gift?
The greatest gift of all. You see, Christmas is the day that God sent his only Son, Jesus Christ, to earth to bridge the gap between himself and the people he created. Through the gift of Jesus, we can be reunited with God and spend eternity in his loving presence, no longer consumed by the pains of this world, but instead made full through his love.
So that's the mystery of Christmas.
Well, I might have missed this part, but what of your inheritance?
You all are offered a full share of God's precious inheritance through His Son, Jesus Christ. To all who believed, He gave the right to become children of God. That is a greater inheritance than anything I could give you.
But what does this mean?
Alton, for you it means that even though you're not the most proficient of doctors, God will still use your hands.
But would God be interested in a man whose entire life is a lie?
You're an angel, Steve. And God's story for you is not finished, not by a long shot. God brings families together, ones that we thought were lost. And through Jesus Christ, Mildred, you can rejoin Martin in a place much greater than this.
So what's God's plan for me?
Milton, my old chap, I have no idea. But I was hoping you would join me in my next adventure. Tomorrow I leave for North Africa to spread the good news of Jesus Christ to all those in need of hope. And I can't think of a braver man to bring along.
Africa? I thought you were terminal.
Yes, well, I might have fudged on that a little bit. But we are all terminal, Rufus. So we can't focus on the disease so much as the cure. We just need to figure out what God wants us to do with the time we have left. Merry Christmas, Rufus.
Merry Christmas.
Dinner is served.
Finally!
It's been a very long night. I know.
Oh, maybe some turkey or meatloaf.
Oh, roast goose. Ooh. We'll have to loosen the corset.
You know, Alton, there's still one mystery that's yet to be solved tonight.
What is that?
Who gets all the old man's money, right?
The butler gets it.
So on that very night, the mystery of Christmas was revealed to all. Dr. Alton Walton went on to become a concert pianist, playing to packed houses and proclaiming the God that made his fingers sing. Mr. Stephen Foote actually started writing his own books. And no, the butler didn't do it this time. He went on to become a great theological mind, and his works still inspire many to this day. Constance moved in with Rufus and Francine, and their family was complete. Or so they thought, until Constance got married and had 13 children of her own, much to the chagrin of poor Rufus. Touched by the story of Constance and her lost family, Mildred started a missions organization aimed at reuniting orphan children from around the world with their families. As for Tiberius and the general, well, their story is known by everyone and is truly an adventure for the ages. But what about Rufus, you might be wondering? Did he ever accept the mystery of Christmas? Perhaps the better question is, will you? And that, my friends, is where the story ends for tonight. But don't you worry, the story is not over. Not by a long shot. We had a wealthy man with his mystery set, and a group of lost people with a dinner guest. So how it went down was unlike any bet. It was a mystery of Christmas no one ever could guess. People keep on asking, what is this for? The answer to that question was follow the Lord. The mystery of Christmas, the mystery of Christmas, the mystery of Christmas was gone tonight. So ask yourself this question before you all leave.